Build your house, Ezra and Nehemiah. The book of Ezra is a retelling from around 538 BC for around a century of the return of the Babylonian captives into Israel. The first 6 chapters deal with the first set of persons who returned, and chapters 7 to 10 reveals the second set of persons who returned, including Ezra and his ministry. The book of Nehemiah goes through the rebuilding of the walls of Jerusalem as the temple was being rebuilt during the time when Ezra started to return to the kingdom of Israel. And Nehemiah became the governor over the provinces, and he himself got assistance from Artaxerxes, who was the king over the provinces at the time, to help to build a wall to protect Jerusalem. So a lot of things were going on at that time period, and there are a lot of things that we can learn about building and restoring things. 3 things I want to concentrate on: the power of prayer, 1; the power in hope and restoration, 2; and the power in ensuring that you have protection, 3. So prayer. When Nehemiah decided that he was going to return to assist the rebuilding of the walls of Jerusalem, he first went into a time of prayer. And riddled throughout the book of Nehemiah, even near the end, there are various times that he prays and asks God to assist him for various things, because he went up along against a lot of opposition and even insults as he was building the wall, and the different divided nations as well as other persons who were trying to thwart him from what he was doing, such as Sanballat and Tobiah, were very mischievous and nefarious in stopping him from building the wall, which of course would have protected the building of the temple, which was happening at the time, as well as the people of Israel as they moved back into their promised land. The second thing I'd like to talk about is hope and restoration. Now, it took a time period of 70 years of captivity in Babylon before God allowed, by his providence, the people of Israel to return. And in Ezra, they call themselves a remnant of persons who would come back to rebuild the city of Jerusalem and the entire country through the law which Ezra would bring and speak about in his ministry in the 7th to the 10th chapters of Ezra. So it speaks a lot about the hope and the restoration that you have with God to bring yourself back to some semblance of what you once were, and that the glory of the former things can come back, as Haggai states, who was also a prophet in that time period. The next thing I'd like to talk about is the power of protection. Now, Nehemiah especially during that time was trying to build a wall to protect against the invading persons that were surrounding the nation of Israel. And he went against a lot of opposition, mainly from even persons within the city itself, for building the wall. And it's important to always set a time when you're building something to protect it, or set some things in place so that whatever you're building stays strong, that it allows a time period for it to grow properly, and for whatever you want to come to fruition to actually come to fruition. And that is the importance of protecting things. So we have 3 things here that we can learn from Ezra and Nehemiah: the power of prayer, the power of hope and restoration, and the power of protection. Be blessed today.